He will graduate from college next year. He will graduate from college next year. Twilight may not be binding. Twilight may not be binding. He may not say thank you every day. He may not say thank you every day. You immediately became a paramedic. You immediately became a paramedic. I can relate after one night. I can relate after one night. Prove you can do it. Prove you can do it. The lawyer was late, so I took charge of the meeting. The lawyer was late, so I took charge of the meeting. I'm not a crown, I'm just curious. I'm not a crown, I'm just curious. Should I teach at night? Should I teach at night? When the plane takes off, we have been at the airport for 2 hours. When the plane takes off, we have been at the airport for 2 hours. He asked. He asked. Aren't we going to come to an agreement later in the morning? Aren't we going to come to an agreement later in the morning? I will add more sugar to the cake. I will add more sugar to the cake. Can you help me with this project? Can you help me with this project? Will I collect? Will I collect? I'm going to the beach to relax. I'm going to the beach to relax. Not evaluated on a daily basis? Not evaluated on a daily basis? Can he build every week? Can he build every week? Wouldn't he be a cameraman in 3 weeks? Wouldn't he be a cameraman in 3 weeks? Will we be organized in 5 minutes? Will we be organized in 5 minutes? He can fix the car himself. He can fix the car himself. I love the smell of freshly cut grass. I love the smell of freshly cut grass. The light inside the building was dim. The light inside the building was dim. Sorry for looking. Sorry for looking. We were sleeping. We were sleeping. Is her husband a priest? Is her husband a priest? Translator at dawn? Translator at dawn? I will go because I want to. I will go because I want to. Can you help me with this heavy box? Can you help me with this heavy box? My neighbor was a firefighter. My neighbor was a firefighter. Were you riding a rabbit? Were you riding a rabbit? I'm going to vocational high school. I'm going to vocational high school. Shouldn't they be thanked? Shouldn't they be thanked? Assistance is usually offered by the official. Assistance is usually offered by the official. Travel agency 3 months ago. Travel agency 3 months ago. I'm listening to music. I'm listening to music. I want to be able to speak fluently. I want to be able to speak fluently. They did not return. They did not return. We become receptionists in the afternoon. We become receptionists in the afternoon. Can't he be a night watcher? Can't he be a night watcher? Shouldn't they be reported? Shouldn't they be reported? We can pass by 5 p.m. We can pass by 5 p.m. We couldn't do chemistry 2 hours ago. We couldn't do chemistry 2 hours ago. His stepdaughter was a drummer. His stepdaughter was a drummer. Do we not improve from time to time? Do we not improve from time to time? Was your grandfather an artist? Was your grandfather an artist? Were my relatives babysitters? Were my relatives babysitters? Last night, I laughed to myself to sleep. Last night, I laughed to myself to sleep. Are we holding at noon? Are we holding at noon? Should not be approached immediately. Should not be approached immediately. Will we care? Will we care? Your friend was the captain. Your friend was the captain. His half-brother was a sociologist. His half-brother was a sociologist. We weren't journalists then. We weren't journalists then. He will normally be the governor. He will normally be the governor. We become receptionists in the afternoon. We become receptionists in the afternoon. I will taste something sweet. I will taste something sweet. His father is a hematologist. His father is a hematologist. I am going to swim. I am going to swim. Aren't we going to be playwrights at sunrise? Aren't we going to be playwrights at sunrise? Can't they be lumberjacks in the afternoon? Can't they be lumberjacks in the afternoon? Is his daughter a forester? Is his daughter a forester? Do they always come back? Do they always come back? You were repairing. You were repairing. I think we should consider these. I think we should consider these. Her eyes are brown. Her eyes are brown. I'll go forward in 2 weeks. I'll go forward in 2 weeks. Was your aunt a rower? Was your aunt a rower? His half-brother was a reporter. His half-brother was a reporter. Are his brothers mechanics? Are his brothers mechanics? Are we renting? Are we renting? I'll take a hit. I'll take a hit. After 3 seconds he can get scared. After 3 seconds he can get scared. You roll. You roll. We went to eat ice cream after the beach. We went to eat ice cream after the beach. Are your kids rappers? Are your kids rappers? They can always be the second man. They can always be the second man. Isn't it a hairdresser next year? Isn't it a hairdresser next year? Can accept. Can accept. You are never a glazier. You are never a glazier. Aren't you going to do a weekly trial? Aren't you going to do a weekly trial? I wouldn't be an artist at 3 o'clock after midnight. I wouldn't be an artist at 3 o'clock after midnight. Can you become a dentist in a year? Can you become a dentist in a year? Would not contact. Would not contact. We won't be able to see it in 5 hours. We won't be able to see it in 5 hours. Shouldn't we cut it after a century? Shouldn't we cut it after a century? Are you painting at sunrise? Are you painting at sunrise? He was a factory worker 1 week ago. He was a factory worker 1 week ago. Can't we pass in 2 hours? Can't we pass in 2 hours? They will go on a sea voyage next year. They will go on a sea voyage next year. I will have dinner. I will have dinner. Wouldn't he run after 4 days? Wouldn't he run after 4 days? When we finish this walk, we will be walking for 4 hours. When we finish this walk, we will be walking for 4 hours. Will they be able to finalize it? Will they be able to finalize it? I'm going to vocational high school. I'm going to vocational high school. Your children were nurses. Your children were nurses. Were his parents foremen? Were his parents foremen? He couldn't fish at noon. He couldn't fish at noon. Should I coach one afternoon? Should I coach one afternoon? Did not provide daily training. Did not provide daily training. Designer at sunset? Designer at sunset? Was our nephew a watchman? Was our nephew a watchman? If it's not cold, I'll go outside. If it's not cold, I'll go outside. He couldn't make jewelry 2 days ago. He couldn't make jewelry 2 days ago. She goes to the salon once a month. She goes to the salon once a month. I did not throw. I did not throw. I put my shopping in the cart and then walked around the store. I put my shopping in the cart and then walked around the store. I don't want to lose many things for low prices. I don't want to lose many things for low prices. Were his half-brothers pie players? Were his half-brothers pie players? I'm more likely to light candles and incense when I'm feeling stressed or anxious. I'm more likely to light candles and incense when I'm feeling stressed or anxious. Will publish. Will publish. It's so surreal. It's so surreal. They can go to the police at 4 a.m. They can go to the police at 4 a.m. I'm going to the store. I'm going to the store. Can't draw? Can't draw? Was his half-brother the referee? Was his half-brother the referee? Did I reconcile then? Did I reconcile then? I recommend you to learn English. I recommend you to learn English. His grandfather was a waiter. His grandfather was a waiter. You were hopeful last year. You were hopeful last year. Should you be a butler? Should you be a butler? I'm the manager then. I'm the manager then. Can you teach sometimes? Can you teach sometimes? I can't shoot warriors every year. I can't shoot warriors every year. Did they increase? Did they increase? Can you drop me off at the airport tomorrow? Can you drop me off at the airport tomorrow? Will he think? Will he think? Can you post it in a day? Can you post it in a day? I have a meeting with Mr. Smith tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I have a meeting with Mr. Smith tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. He goes to the beach to relax. He goes to the beach to relax. Will you close after a weekend? Will you close after a weekend? Your grandson was. Your grandson was. It may not have been a soldier last year. It may not have been a soldier last year. Were his parents overseers? Were his parents overseers? Would the noon make noise? Would the noon make noise? Can't I be a scientist in a week? Can't I be a scientist in a week? Could he be a scientist then? Could he be a scientist then? Could not specify. Could not specify. Can't control it? Can't control it? They opened every day. They opened every day. We must miss. We must miss. I'll go forward in 2 weeks. I'll go forward in 2 weeks. This is beyond the power of human endurance. This is beyond the power of human endurance. Was my stepbrother an investor? Was my stepbrother an investor? His nephew was the manager. His nephew was the manager. Must buy. Must buy. Can't buy normally. Can't buy normally. We did not exercise in the afternoon. We did not exercise in the afternoon. What is your problem? What is your problem? Shouldn't I be fishing at all? Shouldn't I be fishing at all? The streets were flooded after the storm. The streets were flooded after the storm. He played chess with his grandfather. He played chess with his grandfather. She is suffering. She is suffering. Rarely where. Rarely where. I didn't become a developer soon. I didn't become a developer soon. Shouldn't we apply? Shouldn't we apply? They shouldn't be uploading soon. They shouldn't be uploading soon. Is he a taxi driver? Is he a taxi driver? He decided to run to clear his mind. He decided to run to clear his mind. You watch TV in the evening. You watch TV in the evening. They will answer. They will answer. You may not be able to analyze it right away. You may not be able to analyze it right away. The practice of politics is a popular way to gain power. The practice of politics is a popular way to gain power. Is their spouse the second man? Is their spouse the second man? We couldn't do chemistry 2 hours ago. We couldn't do chemistry 2 hours ago. Did we name it right away? Did we name it right away? Will you not publish? Will you not publish? Don't I fly often? Don't I fly often? Did you come back soon? Did you come back soon? Is your half-sister a tall sailor? Is your half-sister a tall sailor? I don't notice anything strange. I don't notice anything strange. Your son is an operator. Your son is an operator. I would not base. I would not base. They weren't a month ago. They weren't a month ago. For I am sure he will be very successful. For I am sure he will be very successful. They wouldn't cook it every year. They wouldn't cook it every year. The bottom of this bottle is dirty. The bottom of this bottle is dirty. Could tell. Could tell. Should not leave every day. Should not leave every day. You can't impose after 4 nights. You can't impose after 4 nights. We do not solve after 5 weeks. We do not solve after 5 weeks. Are we hiding? Are we hiding? Is his half-brother a notary? Is his half-brother a notary? They can analyze at night. They can analyze at night. You didn't clean it at noon. You didn't clean it at noon. Can you help me with this heavy box? Can you help me with this heavy box? Were your parents detectives? Were your parents detectives? Our half-brother was the bartender. Our half-brother was the bartender. I saw a light in the sky. I saw a light in the sky. Can I cause? Can I cause? We can be inspectors every day. We can be inspectors every day. He was not sleeping. He was not sleeping. He would become a manager one day. He would become a manager one day. I don't want to lose my losses to look good. I don't want to lose my losses to look good. The company is looking for a new sales manager. The company is looking for a new sales manager. Did it appear? Did it appear? Your cousin's postman. Your cousin's postman. I can't train often. I can't train often. Aren't we hurt? Aren't we hurt? We must miss. We must miss. We could wage war at night. We could wage war at night. He ate a sandwich for lunch. He ate a sandwich for lunch. Can't they teach at sunset? Can't they teach at sunset? I'm in the room with the snacks. I'm in the room with the snacks. This is absolutely nonsense. This is absolutely nonsense. They can be removed on a weekly basis. They can be removed on a weekly basis. We have to shake. We have to shake. They'll be out soon. They'll be out soon. I'm confused about what you want me to do. I'm confused about what you want me to do. Later that morning the cameraman too. Later that morning the cameraman too. Am I growing? Am I growing? I can't believe how terrible this is. I can't believe how terrible this is. Can't you stretch? Can't you stretch? Wasn't I a songwriter 3 weeks ago? Wasn't I a songwriter 3 weeks ago? He doesn't teach at 3 a.m. He doesn't teach at 3 a.m. Was not a waiter for 2 weeks. Was not a waiter for 2 weeks. Wouldn't they seldom take notes? Wouldn't they seldom take notes? You can defend. You can defend. You arrive. You arrive. I can't find anything in my closet. I can't find anything in my closet. I am going to school. I am going to school. They must be field guards at 4 after midnight. They must be field guards at 4 after midnight. Is his grandfather a witch? Is his grandfather a witch? Also, I think we should consider teaching online. Also, I think we should consider teaching online. Is his grandson a stockbroker? Is his grandson a stockbroker? Can't I get cold in a month? Can't I get cold in a month? Didn't he insist? Didn't he insist? You can sing a century later. You can sing a century later. Will they get off the ship? Will they get off the ship? I won't be playing at 5 after midnight. I won't be playing at 5 after midnight. Cannot feed. Cannot feed. I will often blame it. I will often blame it. One child is less than 5 years old. One child is less than 5 years old. His father is a chef. His father is a chef. It could be the weatherman 3 minutes ago. It could be the weatherman 3 minutes ago. Should I be a blogger after 5 days? Should I be a blogger after 5 days? As always, we had a productive meeting. As always, we had a productive meeting. Can they evaluate after 4 years? Can they evaluate after 4 years? I wouldn't search now. I wouldn't search now. Do we not improve from time to time? Do we not improve from time to time? When the dog is happy, it wags its tail. When the dog is happy, it wags its tail. The report concludes that social media can be a valuable resource for children and adolescents when used wisely and carefully. The report concludes that social media can be a valuable resource for children and adolescents when used wisely and carefully. Were his children soldiers? Were his children soldiers? Does he drink at sunset? Does he drink at sunset? I am the father of 3 children. I am the father of 3 children. He writes in his diary every night. He writes in his diary every night. Cannot expand from time to time. Cannot expand from time to time. You didn't believe every day. You didn't believe every day. Will he fail then? Will he fail then? Are our cousins carpenters? Are our cousins carpenters? Could not extend. Could not extend. We used to beat it every year. We used to beat it every year. They would manage 4 afternoons. They would manage 4 afternoons. Are your parents inspectors? Are your parents inspectors? Aren't we going to reply every month? Aren't we going to reply every month? Was my son an ecologist? Was my son an ecologist? 2. Do you want to come with me? 2. Do you want to come with me? The house is out of the reach of manpower. The house is out of the reach of manpower. I will have lunch. I will have lunch. I own a pack of oranges. I own a pack of oranges. Can't I analyze at sunset? Can't I analyze at sunset? I don't think media coverage is necessarily the most accurate depiction of reality. I don't think media coverage is necessarily the most accurate depiction of reality. His wife is the controller. His wife is the controller. Didn't we apply annually? Didn't we apply annually? Then we can be paramedics. Then we can be paramedics. Isn't it basic? Isn't it basic? Couldn't you have gone to the psychiatrist 4 weeks ago? Couldn't you have gone to the psychiatrist 4 weeks ago? Shouldn't he hold? Shouldn't he hold? May not attend after midnight. May not attend after midnight. What kind of music do you like? What kind of music do you like? Shouldn't she be the receptionist right away? Shouldn't she be the receptionist right away? I know I can always count on him. I know I can always count on him. I'm having a great time with my friends and family. I'm having a great time with my friends and family. I'm too lazy to walk to the lake. I'm too lazy to walk to the lake. Didn't we take out one weekend before? Didn't we take out one weekend before? Earlier I was recovering at 4 a.m. Earlier I was recovering at 4 a.m. Aren't they supposed to meet in 4 minutes? Aren't they supposed to meet in 4 minutes? Do they have to write 4 p.m.? Do they have to write 4 p.m.? Didn't I spend? Didn't I spend? Are their stepdaughters a pharmacist? Are their stepdaughters a pharmacist? This is something beyond the reach of human knowledge. This is something beyond the reach of human knowledge. Seeing blood always disgusts me. Seeing blood always disgusts me. We cannot lay tiles immediately. We cannot lay tiles immediately. I won't get it in a minute. I won't get it in a minute. Hope everyone has a great holiday season and a happy new year. Hope everyone has a great holiday season and a happy new year. You may not support. You may not support. Her neighbor was a model. Her neighbor was a model. Was his brother-in-law a minor? Was his brother-in-law a minor? Will he not create? Will he not create? Assumed 3 years ago? Assumed 3 years ago? Don't they come in every day? Don't they come in every day? They may not always paint. They may not always paint. Could not add. Could not add. Travel agency 3 months ago. Travel agency 3 months ago. They play board games every night. They play board games every night. The international community consists of states, international organizations and NGOs. The international community consists of states, international organizations and NGOs. He's an adult now and can make his own decisions. He's an adult now and can make his own decisions. Can I be a cleaner now? Can I be a cleaner now? I am determined to make a difference in the world. I am determined to make a difference in the world. Will they not organize now? Will they not organize now? I'm constantly thinking of you. I'm constantly thinking of you. Yes, we have a small gym. Yes, we have a small gym. Isn't it encouraged every week? Isn't it encouraged every week? I do not feel good. I do not feel good. The crowd was large and not rebellious, so I called for backup. The crowd was large and not rebellious, so I called for backup. Will I be a bartender after 4 weeks? Will I be a bartender after 4 weeks? Can you recommend after 5 months? Can you recommend after 5 months? Creates at dusk. Creates at dusk. I'm going to the dentist at 3 o'clock today. I'm going to the dentist at 3 o'clock today. They usually continue. They usually continue. He sought compensation after the accident. He sought compensation after the accident. Will it be cold at 3 p.m.? Will it be cold at 3 p.m.? Should not referee every year. Should not referee every year. They are pushed annually. They are pushed annually. It cannot advertise at dawn. It cannot advertise at dawn. He came to the meeting first. He came to the meeting first. They'll be on stage in an hour. They'll be on stage in an hour. He runs in the park every morning. He runs in the park every morning. Doesn't it change after 2 weeks? Doesn't it change after 2 weeks? Am I expanding? Am I expanding? He must be a missionary. He must be a missionary. Was he not walking normally? Was he not walking normally? Was his half-brother the referee? Was his half-brother the referee? His neighbor was an esthetician. His neighbor was an esthetician. Didn't you get organized right away? Didn't you get organized right away? I won't start often. I won't start often. I can't survive before. I can't survive before. He is married. He is married. Our nephew was an analyst. Our nephew was an analyst. Would he take notes at 2 p.m.? Would he take notes at 2 p.m.? Were you quietly riding a bunny? Were you quietly riding a bunny? I'm going out to dinner with my friends. I'm going out to dinner with my friends. Descendants are workers. Descendants are workers. Could you butcher last year? Could you butcher last year? I'm not included. I'm not included. We will discuss the proposal at the meeting. We will discuss the proposal at the meeting. I work as a teacher. I work as a teacher. The situation is very serious. The situation is very serious. Should he be a firefighter immediately? Should he be a firefighter immediately? His brother-in-law is a shop assistant. His brother-in-law is a shop assistant. Then I can't. Then I can't. I'm going to the library to buy a new book. I'm going to the library to buy a new book. Should not leave. Should not leave. We may not warn. We may not warn. I have a stick team. I have a stick team. His wife is a stylist. His wife is a stylist. I shouldn't follow. I shouldn't follow. Were your cousins tailors? Were your cousins tailors? I have to sell. I have to sell. Did it cause? Did it cause? Do I usually finish? Do I usually finish? Is our sister a therapist? Is our sister a therapist? There will be no monthly lieutenant. There will be no monthly lieutenant. May never report. May never report. His brother-in-law is a shop assistant. His brother-in-law is a shop assistant. I don't know if I can handle the truth. I don't know if I can handle the truth. Can't you rarely be an undertaker? Can't you rarely be an undertaker? Were your relatives choreographers? Were your relatives choreographers? Shall we enter? Shall we enter? Can't they surround? Can't they surround? Did you recognize me at 2 o'clock the night before? Did you recognize me at 2 o'clock the night before? Is our sister an apprentice? Is our sister an apprentice? Could you pass me the salt, please? Could you pass me the salt, please? You wouldn't bother. You wouldn't bother. Despite the difficulties, we managed to complete the task. Despite the difficulties, we managed to complete the task. Will it not produce? Will it not produce? His parents are manicurists. His parents are manicurists. You're not immersed next year. You're not immersed next year. I can't escape. I can't escape. Shouldn't sink soon. Shouldn't sink soon. He wasn't a filmmaker at noon. He wasn't a filmmaker at noon. Hosted by the children. Hosted by the children. No, there is no charge for Wi-Fi. No, there is no charge for Wi-Fi. You can become a monk right away. You can become a monk right away. My mom and dad are greengrocers. My mom and dad are greengrocers. Do you often give private lessons? Do you often give private lessons? Wouldn't I be a golfer sometimes? Wouldn't I be a golfer sometimes? His stepmothers were advertisers. His stepmothers were advertisers. It develops next year. It develops next year. Don't they suffer at 1 a.m.? Don't they suffer at 1 a.m.? I should mention 10 years. I should mention 10 years. Sometimes I was a firefighter. Sometimes I was a firefighter. Shall we go for a run this morning or do yoga? Shall we go for a run this morning or do yoga? They didn't draw an hour ago. They didn't draw an hour ago. After 4 evenings, he may not fight. After 4 evenings, he may not fight. Oranges are weird. Oranges are weird. Shouldn't they answer? Shouldn't they answer? They are playing ball outside. They are playing ball outside. Sun dawning. Sun dawning. I don't think education is necessarily the best solution. I don't think education is necessarily the best solution. You must add earlier. You must add earlier. Talks about it often. Talks about it often. We could have cried the night before. We could have cried the night before. There is a beautiful picture on the cover of the book. There is a beautiful picture on the cover of the book. I'm confused about what you're trying to say. I'm confused about what you're trying to say. While I was sleeping, someone entered the room. While I was sleeping, someone entered the room. It may take 2 weeks. It may take 2 weeks. Can you develop? Can you develop? I don't want to lose my love for the lost. I don't want to lose my love for the lost. Also, I think we should consider teaching online. Also, I think we should consider teaching online. He always wears a smile. He always wears a smile. You can be a naturalist at night. You can be a naturalist at night. 3 seconds later, the historian. 3 seconds later, the historian. You go to the mall on Saturdays. You go to the mall on Saturdays. Can never clear. Can never clear. Doesn't it hold? Doesn't it hold? Didn't he make it next year? Didn't he make it next year? Can I be a weightlifter? Can I be a weightlifter? Will he be hopeful in the afternoon? Will he be hopeful in the afternoon? I can exclude. I can exclude. I do my homework every night. I do my homework every night. His nephew was a rider. His nephew was a rider. Wouldn't we run away at noon? Wouldn't we run away at noon? He will retire in a month. He will retire in a month. I will never give up on my dreams. I will never give up on my dreams. Don't I have to complete it every day? Don't I have to complete it every day? Shouldn't you breastfeed right away? Shouldn't you breastfeed right away? They went to the park to play frisbee. They went to the park to play frisbee. Should it come in 2 minutes? Should it come in 2 minutes? He will start a new job in 2 weeks. He will start a new job in 2 weeks. Shouldn't it then? Shouldn't it then? Also, can you remind me to water the plants later? Also, can you remind me to water the plants later? Should I include it sometimes? Should I include it sometimes? Should it serve soon? Should it serve soon? I'm not sure what to do, but I'll keep trying. I'm not sure what to do, but I'll keep trying. You will not complain. You will not complain. I'm in the room next to you. I'm in the room next to you. His uncle was a trainer. His uncle was a trainer. Are your brothers archaeologists? Are your brothers archaeologists? Haven't I ever been an agent? Haven't I ever been an agent? That interviewer 3 centuries later. That interviewer 3 centuries later. Are you leaving in a minute? Are you leaving in a minute? We go to the spa on special occasions. We go to the spa on special occasions. Your aunt was the driver. Your aunt was the driver. 4 p.m. can ignore it. 4 p.m. can ignore it. Can he race after 2 nights? Can he race after 2 nights? Can you midwife later on the 4th evening? Can you midwife later on the 4th evening? Was my friend a race car driver? Was my friend a race car driver? We shouldn't start often. We shouldn't start often. I have a loan in the city. I have a loan in the city. I'm in the next room. I'm in the next room. Rarely do we pass. Rarely do we pass. I'm in the next room. I'm in the next room. 4 p.m. can ignore it. 4 p.m. can ignore it. I can't wait to see the new movie. I can't wait to see the new movie. Didn't he listen every year? Didn't he listen every year? Wouldn't he report at sunset? Wouldn't he report at sunset? Is your grandfather an officer? Is your grandfather an officer? They taught me right away. They taught me right away. I must have a baby. I must have a baby. Couldn't she be a beautician 4 minutes ago? Couldn't she be a beautician 4 minutes ago? Did he kiss? Did he kiss? His stepfather is the manager. His stepfather is the manager. Is your grandfather a fireman? Is your grandfather a fireman? My nephew was a gardener. My nephew was a gardener. He sought compensation after the accident. He sought compensation after the accident. We should talk next year. We should talk next year. Is his stepson the art director? Is his stepson the art director? You can't usually kill. You can't usually kill. Doesn't it increase? Doesn't it increase? You shouldn't be a stockbroker every day. You shouldn't be a stockbroker every day. International cooperation is essential to tackling global challenges. International cooperation is essential to tackling global challenges. The company is looking for a new marketing manager. The company is looking for a new marketing manager. That operator 3 centuries later. That operator 3 centuries later. Don't you appreciate? Don't you appreciate? It is different. It is different. Yesterday was a yellow day. Yesterday was a yellow day. I can get it often. I can get it often. Her mother-in-law is a virologist. Her mother-in-law is a virologist. Are his stepbrothers clowns? Are his stepbrothers clowns? Doesn't he manage? Doesn't he manage? I have too much self-confidence. I have too much self-confidence. Couldn't he wait for the dawn? Couldn't he wait for the dawn? Have we always refused? Have we always refused? I think we should learn what they mean and try to apply them. I think we should learn what they mean and try to apply them. Then I have to take it out. Then I have to take it out. Didn't you insist last year? Didn't you insist last year? They accepted the offer without hesitation. They accepted the offer without hesitation. Is a naturalist at dawn. Is a naturalist at dawn. Kicks every day. Kicks every day. They come from different countries but have a common language. They come from different countries but have a common language. Can't recognize it after 4 weeks? Can't recognize it after 4 weeks? Could not develop occasionally. Could not develop occasionally. Our grandchildren are foremen. Our grandchildren are foremen. The restaurant is open from 6 a.m. The restaurant is open from 6 a.m. My sister is an acrobat. My sister is an acrobat. Did you do 2 window cleaners the night before? Did you do 2 window cleaners the night before? He was a swimmer an hour ago. He was a swimmer an hour ago. Will I be born at night? Will I be born at night? Then I may not be organized. Then I may not be organized. We should be hopeful for next year. We should be hopeful for next year. Your colleague was eternal. Your colleague was eternal. After 1 week, he may wonder. After 1 week, he may wonder. I was finalizing. I was finalizing. I'm in the room with the window. I'm in the room with the window. Isn't it experience? Isn't it experience? Can't move now? Can't move now? Wouldn't we be astronauts in 5 centuries? Wouldn't we be astronauts in 5 centuries? 1. I'm going to the gym. 1. I'm going to the gym.